we will start how to take a proper history, because history is very important thing in infertility. If you take a proper history note in infertility, it would be very easy for you at the end to diagnose. So history part is very very important. By taking history, 50% you will get your provisional diagnosis and the picture clear in your mind that what to do and when to do. कौन सा इन्वेस्टिगेशन आप कब कराओगे वो आपको बाय द एंड ऑफ टेकिंग हिस्ट्री यू विल गेट. नाउ why we learn this, what we are going to learn in this. We learn the definitions of primary and secondary infertility, understand the cause of infertility, basic initial investigations to be offered to infertile couple. Then we'll learn what are the tests for ovulation, test for tubal patency, indications for laparoscopy and hysteroscopy, indications for IVF and IUI. Now, definition. What you call infertility? When any couple comes to you for conception, you will give every patient to the treatment? No. First, decide whether this patient is infertile or not. How can you say that? So, infertility is inability to achieve a pregnancy after 12 months of the unprotected regular intercourse. अगर कोई couple trying since 1 year and still they don't get a result, then that couple is termed as infertility. Now there are two types of infertility, primary infertility and the secondary infertility. Now what do you mean by primary infertility? Primary infertility is the term used to describe a couple that has never been able to conceive a pregnancy even after 1 year of unprotected intercourse. ऐसा कपल कि जिसमें कभी भी प्रेगनेंसी नहीं रुकी है इवन आफ्टर ट्राई फॉर 1 year, that is termed as primary infertility. What is secondary infertility? Secondary infertility means couple who have previously been pregnant at least once but have not been able to achieve another pregnancy. एक बार प्रेगनेंसी रुक चुकी है बट दूसरी बार नहीं रुक रही है. That is called secondary infertility. So now you are clear what is primary infertility and what is secondary infertility. Primary infertility means the couple who have never been conceived is called primary infertility. And secondary infertility means conceived at least once, but then conception not happens. Then it is called secondary infertility. Understood? Difference between primary and secondary? Okay. Now we will move to the proforma. You can write or you can take a snap or picture of this proforma and make according to your convenience for your clinic. I would recommend each and every because I have also this proforma in my clinic. When any infertility patient comes, take this in this proforma, take a history of the patient. So you will never miss a single thing. If you had taken this in a proper way, so you can elicit all detailed history. And if you elicit the detailed history of the patient, by the end your mind is clear that this patient is suffering from this pathology. So I will go to this investigation. So that's why infertility plays a very important role. Ask for full name, write the full name of the patient, age of the patient, What is the importance of age in infertility? As we know, with increased age, female ovarian age, there is a problem. Means after the age of the 35, egg quality and quantity is hampered. So, chances of conception reduce to 50% after the age of 35, and it reduced to 75% by the age of 40 years. So if patient is in already advanced group, you should have a take a vigilant steps to treat. That's why always write the age of the patient. Then husband age is also very important. Occupation of both, here I forget to mention the occupation of both male and female, because the person who is constantly using computers, laptop, mobile are suffered from motility and the count. So that's why also mention the occupation. Then AML. What is AML? It is called active married life. What do you mean by active married life? When it is the time since patient is trying to conceive, it is called active married life. In active married life, you have to ask, especially in case of the primary infertility. So you can have a proper understanding knowledge that this patient is trying to conceive since this time and not able to conceive yet. Also ask for history of contraception. Since then, which type of contraceptions they are using. Then main complaint of, chief complaint. Apart from infertility, is there any physical complaint is there or not? Because sometimes patient will tell you she having a chronic vaginal discharge, leukorrhea, abdominal pain. So you have to think in mind this patient may suffered from vaginal infection or the leukorrhea. So this patient have the vaginitis, PID, and that's the reason of infertility. Then take a proper obstetric history. In case of primary infertility, ask for active married life. And in case of secondary infertility, take a detailed history of all past pregnancies, like history of full term normal delivery, that is called FTND, or full term CS, मेल और फीमेल, कितने साल का है और साल की है, where patient is delivered, and post delivery complications. So take a proper history like one FTND, मेल और फीमेल 4 year, हॉस्पिटल के होम डिलीवरी विथ पोस्ट डिलीवरी इन्फेक्शन or post delivery complication. Also take a proper history of MTP, missed abortion, DNE, ectopic, whatever the patient has the past history of, all this take in a proper way. Write down always in a first visit, so it would be easy for you to communicate in a consequent visit. Then menstrual history. Ask about the last menstrual period. Past menstrual history. What is LMP? Last menstrual period. Then take a past menstrual history, means how many days cycles, 28 to 30 day cycle, whether lasting for 4 to 5 days or 2 to 3 days, mild, moderate, severe flow, painful or painless. If it is painful, pain is relieved with NSAIDs or not. NSAIDs means painkiller. If there is a severe pain not even relieved with NSAIDs, you had in your mind this may have endometriosis. So, by obstetric and the menstrual history in a proper, if you take, you had a conclude in a diagnosis that this patient may have tubal problem and this patient may have ovulatory problem. Suppose patient have a history of missed abortion, preterm delivery or postpartum fever, post delivery complications, prolonged labor, all kind of history may have tubal pathology, means tubal factor or uterine factor is involved. So you will first choose to investigate tubal factor or uterine factor pathology. If menstrual factor abnormality, if the cycle is irregular, if the cycle is irregular or it is associated with a severe pain or it may lasting very irregular cycle, so it's point out to the ovarian pathology, means ovulatory problem. So this way we can differentiate which investigations to be offered to what and when. Then also write down past treatment taken for all infertility. Suppose if the patient comes to you, but before to you, she had been undergone to many doctors. So write down all detail, means not whole files, but take the positive points that she had taken a 6 cycles of clomiphene, yeah, 5 cycles of the letrozole, yeah, medical treatment with ovulation study for 6 cycles, IUI for 4 cycles, IVF for 1 cycle. So you had an idea that patient is gone to all these things. Past medical and the surgical history. Also take a past medical and the surgical history in a detailed. Major disease, surgery or blood transfusion history if any. Take a proper family history for weight, BP, TPR, per abdomen, PS and PV. Look for thyroid enlargement, breast examination, thyroid look on the neck to rule out any hyperthyroidism or goiter. Also check for breast secretion because sometimes galactorrhea or secretion from the breast can be the simple cause of infertility. Then after doing this completes your history and examination part. सो इतना आप प्रॉपर वे हिस्ट्री लेते हो तो इतना हिस्ट्री लेने के बाद you had in a frame that this patient may have this diagnosis. So if there is a menstruation related problem, so clear cut you can write, I query it's a ovulatory abnormality or the ovarian abnormality. If the pregnancy related complications in the past, or a patient may have history of genital tuberculosis or history of missed abortion, you can put in provisional diagnosis query tubal pathology. If everything is normal, so it could be male infertility or it's a unexplained infertility. So infertility is like a maths, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So we ruled out one by one cause. So ऐसे ऐसे हम करते जाते हैं और finally we can reach up to 50% provisional diagnosis. According to that base, we move to the investigations part. And then we decide plan of management. Now the causes of infertility. For the infertility, 30% are female factor, 30% are male factor, and 30% are combined factor responsible. In 10%, there is a no cause, so it's called unexplained infertility. So, by looking this, female partner not only blamed for infertility, that you should explain to that couple in the first visit that both the couple treatment and investigation may required during the course. This is how the pregnancy happens. Let me show you. On the this is brain. This is brain. So, on the day 2 of the menstrual cycle, there is a balanced secretion of FSH, LH, TSH, and prolactin happens. There is this main four hormone secreted from the anterior pituitary under the influence of GnRH hormone. So, if there is a balanced secretion of FSH, LH, TSH and the prolactin, it activate the follicles in the ovary. So, the follicle are start forming. Once the follicle become matured, as I told you yesterday, at the beginning of the cycle, follicles are usually less than 8 mm. With a gradual increase in the estrogen secreted by these follicles, it increases in the size. Those who have LH receptor will become the dominant follicles. So, one or two follicles become dominant, which grows, and other becomes atretic. Others become inactive. So, by day 6 or day 7, dominant follicle will reach to 12 to 13 mm. Associated with endometrium also goes in the proliferative phase. So, endometrium also become 6 to 7 mm. Gradual increase in the dominant follicle when it becomes matured. Maturity occurs approximate between 18 to 24 mm. When follicle matured, there is a sudden LH rise called LH surge. So after 24 to 36 hours of the LH surge, the egg is released and This process is called ovulation. Once the egg is released, immediately taken up by the catch up by the fimbriae of the fallopian tube. From here, it gradually drawn into the fallopian tube. Once it reaches to the ampullary region of the fallopian tube, sperm and it remains live for 24 to 48 hours. If relation happened and if the sperm quality and quantity is good, sperms are traveled and they fertilized this embryo. Once the embryo fertilized, it undergoes into cell division. At 24 hours zygote, at 72 hours 8 cell embryo, on day 4 it becomes morula, and at day 5 120 hours of post fertilization it transfer into blastocyst. Once blastocyst happens, it implanted in the endometrium, and the corpus luteum of this ovary secretes estrogen and progesterone, which becomes the nutrition for this developing embryo. So this is how the pregnancy happens. So what understood from this? First, for this, start from here. First point. For this, egg all the first of all, HPO axis means hypothalamo pituitary axis should be intact, proper balanced of all hormones to stimulate the follicles. So first is we have to find out whether follicles formed, ovulation occurred or not, and ovarian factor normally or not. So first we have to rule out ovarian factor. Second one, once the if you confirm it's a ovulatory cycle, that means that egg should be catch up by the fallopian tube. So fallopian tube is working or not to carry eggs. Third one is semen part. Everything is normal and egg reaches to the ampulla. For fertilization, semen count and motility should be normal. And lastly, fourth is uterine factor. Everything happened. Embryo formed, blastocyst formed, but implantation bed is not ready, then pregnancy cannot be happened. So endometrium at the beginning of the cycle, it is usually less than 5 mm, gradually increase in the proliferative phase under the influence of estrogen. Around the time of ovulation, it reaches from 7 to 12 mm. Makes implantation bed for embryo. So embryo get implanted. If embryo not implanted, it increase in the size up to 15 mm, and then there is a shedding, means disruption of the endometrium happens. So this is how the pregnancy happens, and this is the how we find out the cause. The most common cause for infertility are basically first we check for ovarian factor. So 25% of the cycles may be disovulatory, means anovulation. Anovulatory cycle mainly happens in premature ovarian failure, in polycystic ovarian disease, in hypothyroidism, in hyperprolactinemia, in hypergonadotrophic condition, in endometriosis, in chocolate cyst, in advanced stage group, all are comes under the factor of disovulatory cycle. Then second is tubal factor, where altered tubal pathology mainly seen with bilateral tubal blockage in genital tuberculosis, in PID, in endometriosis. There may be the male factor infertility, and uterine factor means unfavorable endometrium in case of repeated DNCs, genital tuberculosis, in fibroid. So all are the main causes for infertility. Apart from this, there are the general factors like diabetes mellitus, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, liver, kidney disease, psychological factor also affect the infertility. These are basically HPO axis problem like hyperprolactinemia, hypopituitarism, etc. So in first visit, both couple means both husband and wife should come, take a detailed complete history, sexual history, educate them, counsel them. This is the writing material of proforma. The proforma I had added in the initial of this cycle. Carry out and print out and then take in a that proper history. Also ask for any smoking and everything. Then in examination, don't forget to measure the weight, BMI and the waist circumference to rule out the PCOS. Look out for PCOS type hair growth, means acne, hirsutism. Check breast secretion for galactoria, suggest hyperprolactinemia. If patient complain of discharge PV, itching or irritation, do the per speculum examination to check for any infection. Also do the basic USG pelvis or USG abdomen to rule out any gross uterine factor abnormalities like the fibroid. Then check for PID, means if there is adnexal tenderness, bilateral fornical tenderness present, it leads to the PID. Retroflexion. Yesterday I told you 80% of the uterus are anteverted, anti-flexed, but 20% could be retroflexed position. So retroflexed means what? What is this? This is sir. This is vagina, and sorry. This is vagina, and uterus is placed like this way in a posterior side towards the rectum. So the sperm cannot reach directly to the egg. So that's why there may be difficulty in a retroflexed uterus. Smoking, if patient is doing, ask them to stop. If the BMI is more than 30, recommend or assist for weight loss because obesity can also be a cause for anovulatory cycle. Preconceptional care, always take care. Any patient comes for infertility, always give the folic acid tablet in a preconceptional period to remove and to prevent spina bifida or neurological defect in the child. Check for immunization status. If patient has not taken rubella vaccine, RVX subcutaneous vaccine is always advisable. Check for all the FDA approved drugs only used. Check for any antihypertensive, any anti-diabetic, anti-thyroid drugs patient if it is taking. Check for this drug should not be cause the adverse reaction. So if you feel that, you can change. The basic investigations we offered are, at a first visit, we basic investigation is full blood workup. So in that CBC blood group, RBS urine RM, HbSAg, HIV, VDRL, creatinine, and semen analysis. This we do as a basic. Then all these investigations are there. but we cannot write all the investigation at one time. So first is female basic investigation and in male, semen analysis, HbSAg and HIV. This is the first investigations to be offered, and then advise the further investigations according to the history and examination of the patient. Basic pelvic ultrasound should be ideally done in first visit to rule out, to check for any uterine anomaly, check for ovarian pathology. In ovary, always count for antral follicles. So we had an idea that this patient having good ovarian reserve, bad ovarian reserve, hyper ovarian reserve, or it could be PCOS. If chocolate cyst, you can find the chocolate cyst endometriosis by the ultrasound. Also look for fibroid, polyp. In advanced stage group, check the status for ovarian volume, and serial studies is required to document the ovulation. So this is the ultrasound scan showing follicles. These all are dominant follicles. Suppose this is the dominant follicle. This is the dominant follicles, and these are small follicles that undergoes the atretic phase. Now we stop here. From tomorrow we start with pathology. So we will take one by one every protocols: ovarian factor, then tubal factor, uterine factor, and the semen factor. Okay. So anyone has the question can ask, then I will stop the lecture. Hello, Dr. Sonam, you have any question?